to my channel. I am here in the Apple store in Battersea. It is brand new. Today you can walk in right now. It is the most accessible store in Europe. And we are launching it today with this fabulous conversation with Sarah Herrlinger, the head of accessibility at Apple. I am so excited to be chatting to her today. This was our conversation. Sarah, hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me with you today.
Oh, no, thank you so much. And I always love to start these interviews very casually with an audio description of yourself, maybe just a few sentences and your pronouns. Would you be able to do that for our lovely audience today?
Yeah, sure. So I am a Caucasian woman with blonde hair, slightly graying, sad to say. I am wearing a blue floral dress with a black sweater over it, and my pronouns are she, her.
Oh, I love that. Well, I'm in blue too. My audio description, I love it. We're twinning. I have a blue dress on, and I have loads and loads of like different flowers. So imagine like big, massive flowers, greens and pinks. We just love that summer vibe. We were just chatting before the cameras were rolling how hot it is. And I'm a Caucasian woman. My pronouns are she, her, and I have long, flowing red hair. And yeah, we're just going to get into the questions then, Sarah. We're just going to get straight into it. So my first question for you is, accessibility being a core value of Apple's, I know it always has been a core value. Why now, more than ever, is it one?
Well, I think, as you stated, it's always been a core value. And I think our original mission as a company was to create groundbreaking products that change people's lives. And our goal has always been not to do that just for some people, but to do it for everyone. And I think, now today, that is all the more important as we see, so many people who can benefit from accessibility features out in the world.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. I think sitting in this store is testament to all the amazing work you and your team are doing. And I know that you've been at Apple for a while. Talk to me about your evolution. Why do you take your job so seriously? I'd love to know.
I feel incredibly lucky to be able to do the work that I do at Apple. And I don't know that there's any other company in the world that would have the emphasis that we do on this area. And so for me, I've been able to kind of see us as we have both continued to do accessibility for so long, but the amazing innovation that we've done over the last 2 decades during my tenure here has just been fantastic. When I look at things like building the first gesture-based screen reader onto a touchscreen and making a touchscreen accessible to people who will never touch a touchscreen due to physical motor limitations, creating the first Bluetooth connection between a hearing aid and a cell phone, all these amazing things that our team has done. And I love the fact that our accessibility work is some of the most creative work that I think we do as a company, and how much so many engineers at Apple want to work on these and want to take whatever it is that they're working on and figure out how to do really just fantastic things for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm. And what I love about Apple as well, you have engineers with disabilities, and that's so important. I'm always talking and shouting from the rooftops about having, not just, massive storefronts with, saying we are, inclusive of people with disabilities, but behind the scenes, you're creating, nothing without us, about us. I love that. So
yeah.
So for the rest of Apple then, what do you decide to release next within your product line in terms of accessibility?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a number of things that kind of affect what we think about. Some of that may be just incredibly, new technology and innovation where we can find it. So, one of the things I love about working at Apple is we have engineers who are the best at each individual area, whether that's about accessibility or not. So as an accessibility team, we can go to all of those people and figure out what they're working on and take their amazing, new innovations and use them to our advantage. So when you think about something like, LiDAR, and how we've been able to create features like detection mode built into Magnifier to support members of the blind community to be able to do everything from, social distancing with people detection, or, move the last couple of meters of their journey using door detection and being able to understand what's on the storefronts in front of them, or whether a door's open or closed, things like that. And now looking at new features like point and speak, there's so many things that we're able to do just by using the hardware and software that other teams are working on and create great features from those. So in some cases, it's that new technology. In other cases, it may be that we get feedback from a community, or there is a moment in time where we realize that there's something that's really important for us to do. And I think going back to a feature like people detection, we put that out in the first year of COVID because we understood that social distancing was such an important thing for everyone in the world. And we wanted to make sure that members of the blind community felt safe as they moved through space. So sometimes it can be something like a global pandemic, and sometimes it can be, emails that come into us where people just give their feedback and we say, oh yeah, we can do something here.
Yeah, I love that. That people detection mode has changed so many people's lives. And I remember, I did a BBC ClickUp piece on it, and so many people from my audience messaged me like, oh, I can actually go to the shop now. I don't feel scared, as a guide dog user. And, this is what we're doing here today. This is another monumental moment where you're saying, there's hearing loops in store now. And we're going to talk, in my other videos about all of the different features of the Battersea store. But for you, what's your proudest moment in your role to date?
Oh my goodness. It's almost hard to pick just one, obviously, because we have done so much. I think the thing I'm most proud of is that for us, accessibility is not just one thing. It's never a checkbox. It's never something that we say, okay, work is done, moving on. We've embedded it in everything we do as a company. So whether it's our products, our services, our stores, our own workplace, all the way to our original content that we're producing out of LA, in every area we think about accessibility and we think about people with disabilities and try and figure out how do we make sure that we're creating the most inclusive everything that we do. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, I think matters most.
I agree. I think that's what really matters to the lives of disabled people everywhere, and you can see it through the whole of Apple's output. And I love that on days that are special to our community, Global Accessibility Awareness Day, you were there saying, hey, here are all of the new features that we want to release with your team. I remember being on that call, and I know that one of the features that I'm most excited about, a little bit biased, but because I'm visually impaired, I'm completely blind, is point and speak, and that's coming out very soon, isn't it? Could you talk to me a bit about the feature and how it was developed?
Yeah, so point and speak is sort of the next phase of that detection mode that we talked about. And point and speak is really about being able to literally, using LiDAR in our Pro models, point at text in front of you and have the camera read out what it says. So it's built to be effective for things like, understanding on your microwave which is the start button and which is the one that says popcorn, or whatever it might be. Or it could be, text on a medicine bottle, or any of those things where you're just in an environment where you want to understand what's the text being around in front of you.
Definitely. And I know for me, if, I need to know that something's burning in my microwave. Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't want to hit the wrong button and suddenly have something run for 40 minutes instead of 4. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And stuff like that, I never would have dreamed of 10 years ago when I lost my vision. I just thought, I probably needed to just talk to someone else. But now I can talk to my phone and not look like a mad person. But I think that's an amazing feature. Thank you so much for talking to me about it. And I just wondered, to finalise our interview, whether we could do a little quick fire question round.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay. So this is to get to know you a little bit better and just chat about the Apple products that you like the most as well. Okay. So my first question, favourite food?
sad to say, marshmallows.
Oh,
love them.
Love it.
Yes, comfort food.
Yeah. Favorite drink?
Coffee.
Love it. Yeah, we were talking about that on the way. Favorite cocktail?
So I am more of a wine person than a cocktail person per se, but I do love a nice glass of wine.
Yeah, love it. Favorite podcast at the moment?
Films to be Buried with Brett Goldstein.
Love it. Favorite TV show?
Ted Lasso.
Yes.
Have to do it.
Oh, you do. You really do. Favorite Apple product?
I would say my Apple Watch. It's definitely the first thing that I put on in the morning and the last thing I take off. So, and actually try and wear it through the night for the sleep. So finding even the charge time is, love my Apple Watch.
Oh, I'm about to do a 10K and it talking to me, and it needs to be there for me in those runs.
Yep.
Favorite Apple store?
Oh my gosh, that one, I think if I had to pick anyone, I would say Carnegie Library in DC. It is beautiful, and it is a store that sits about a mile from Gallaudet University, which is an incredible university for the deaf community. And so we have really worked to support that community within the store, and about 10% of our workforce there is members of the deaf community, many of them who are Gallaudet alums. So I just love being able to go into that store.
I loved the comment about the store with all of the deaf community, 10% as the workforce. I thought it was amazing. That's really cool. Have you got any plans to kind of expand that work, or is it is it something that you did recently?
So we actually did that work. We opened the store 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say. So I think, it's been around for a while. And really, I think it's a mixture of two things. One, in every one of our stores, we want to hire the best people for the job, and the people who, are elements of the community. And so in that case, we knew we were so close to this school where they get something like 100,000 members of the deaf community who show up on campus on a yearly basis. So we knew we wanted to be there to support anyone who wants to come buy a product or talk to a genius or whatever it might be. But also, I mean, in every store we're hiring in people to just be doing the right work and the best work.
And a little bonus question, because I have you. Why do you love this store that we're currently sitting in?
Well, I love this store because I think it's, one, thrilled to have it here in Battersea, which is our, lovely home here in London, but also that, we've really built this store with a lot of thoughtfulness around accessibility. And it is a continuation of the work we do in every store. We always think about this everywhere, but there's some really great, fun, elements to this store that we've worked on. So I'm super excited about how it'll be received.
Oh, amazing. And last question, what is your favorite accessibility feature?
I would say my favorite feature is actually magnifier, because as somebody who is an eyeglass wearer, I use it all the time to be able to just zoom in on things in the real world. Once again, things like small text. So I love magnifier.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for having me and in this beautiful store on this beautiful day. So yeah, it's really lovely to speak.
We're so excited to have you here. It's been wonderful. Thank you for having me as a part of your podcast.
No worries.